Okay, I am finally going to do a thorough review of my Midwest Hombrewing Supply Oktoberfest Lager that I brewed back in July. If you go back on my page, you'll see small snippets of me actually doing that brew day in July. And then I think when we were lagering, I did a bit of a, or transitioning into the secondary, I don't know, but I showed you a snippet of the lagering process. And then also when we were kegging it a few weeks ago, about a month ago. I did tap this beer at our Oktoberfest party in the beginning of October, and now it's October, 30th or 29th. So I've been drinking this for about 3 weeks and really enjoy it. Here's the beer. Here you go. There it is. It's been sitting here for a couple minutes out of my tap, out of my keg. Look at the color on this thing. It's just fantastic. Absolutely beautiful copper. Clear as can be. I don't know if you can see it right there, but to me that is what an Oktoberfest beer should look like. I know you can have lighter versions of this and German hops and German grains, but to me I like that sort of copper Marzen style beer. It's really what I like. It looks great, and I was really happy with this. Some of the particulars, I didn't write down what the actual grain bill was, or actually I didn't say that. It's all extract. This was an extract brew, so I'm pretty sure it was a Vienna extract malt, and then also maybe a gold malt. I can't remember. I do know that the hops were 1.5 ounce of Mount Hood at the 60 minutes of the boil, and then 1 ounce of Hallertau at 5 minutes left. But other than that, kegging went fine. I used my kegerator. Unfortunately, it killed my process of having other beers for 2.5 months. So I don't like that. I use my keger to ferment it and to lager it for 2.5 months. Next time I brew a lager, I'm going to use my outside, I'm going to reposition, I guess, the shelves in my outside refrigerator to use as my lagering unit instead of this kegerator, so that won't put a stop on any beers coming through my homebrew. Anyway, back to the beer. Here it is. Original gravity, I believe, was 1.70, a little higher. It was supposed to be at 1.066. Came in at 1.012 for final gravity. That was right on. About 7% alcohol in this beer, so kind of high for the style, but it does not taste like a 7% beer, and that to me is a good thing, and dangerous. But tastes great. I've had it. I'm gonna give a sip here, tell you what I think about it, but I can tell you right now, the nose on it, very sweet, malty, malt forward, hardly any hops. Hops, actually, you'll see, I'll tell you in a second, in the finish, you can kind of get that sort of earthy hops. I don't know much about Mount Hood or Hallertau, but it's not your tropical citrus hops at all. It's not the style, but it works. So 7% came in right in where we wanted to. So cheers, everybody. Here's the Midwest Homebrewing Supply Oktoberfest Lager Homebrew. Again, I've been drinking this for a while. Very sweet. That's sort of, it's a lot. There was a lot of, I guess, I was surprised that it was 1.070 original gravity on this. So it's a sweet beer. There's a lot of malt in it. Taste a lot of caramel. No doubt about it, caramel. Even some maple, like maple syrup. Very sweet. I like it. It works. But the finish on it, and I don't know if that's from the Mount Hood early on. I'm not familiar with that hop, but it dries out very quick, so it doesn't linger. That sweetness doesn't linger on your tongue. So it's a really, really good, refreshing, crisp Oktoberfest Marzen. Really happy with it. I've had a bunch of people over here, especially at the party. They really, really enjoyed it. It was a labor of love. I've never done an October or a lager before, so I was skeptical that I was going to actually come out with sort of the type of flavors I wanted. Because again, you can really mess that up in the lagering and fermenting of an Oktoberfest or any lager. Never done it before. I think I did it pretty well. Was able to control it, and I think that's key. And it came out really great, really refreshing. I just wish it didn't take 2.5 months to lager. But I guess that's why it tastes so crisp and clean. So you put in the work and you get the reward, I guess, right? My next brew, actually, just to give you a good heads up, next week I'm brewing my first actual original brew. I've gotten into Beersmith. I've done some research. It will be an IPA. I've got the recipe ready to go. Friday I'm going to buy all the ingredients. Saturday we're brewing. I'll probably try to put up a quick video of that brew day. And I'm really excited. I'm going to all grain now. I've got a mash tun, a grain crusher. I got everything else to do it. So 5-gallon batches, all grain, original recipe. It's an IPA. Can't wait to show you that. Can't wait to review it on here. Can't wait to taste it. I hope it comes out well. I think it will. So that's the next step. I'm going into all grain and actually creating my own brew. So I'm happy about that. Anyway, back to this beer, Oktoberfest Lager from Midwest Brewing Supply Company. Really good. A+. I really enjoyed it. I'll do this type of style again next summer for an October beer. I'm not going to do it a lot because, again, it's not my favorite, and I think this time of year is really where you want this type of kind of beer. We do parties for it, so I'm going to do it every year. In July, I'll brew an Oktoberfest Lager. Next year, it'll be an all grain. Next year, it'll be my own recipe, and I'll review it for you right here. If you have any comments, you've done these types of beers before, please put them below. I'd love to hear about it. If you have any questions about this beer, I'd love to answer them for you. So if you've got any tips for me as I move forward in my brewing process here, please put them below, and I'd love to interact with you and talk some home brewing. So cheers, everybody out there. Keep on home brewing, and thanks for watching. I think I'll have another one of these tonight.